So hi, good morning. Um, it's 11:15. I have been up since 7, just as I told you yesterday. I got tested at 9 for like the blood test that I also told you about. It was incredibly warm outside, like too warm, and because it's summer and I live in like the north, the sun is at the absolute top of the sky. So it's impossible almost to find shadow because, as I said, the sun is right on top, and it isn't until like the afternoon when it gets more shadowy and like that. So I walked under the sun most of the time, and it was just so warm. But everything went fine. I came back home. It didn't take that long. Like my time was at 9, and I was back home 9:20, so it didn't take that long. But I was exhausted when I got home because I was just like, as I said, like it was so warm. I just made a milkshake, and I was just like, I needed something cold. Yeah, and now I have like water. I did read another chapter of Meet Cute Club yesterday. I really enjoyed that book. Like they just exchanged numbers. So I'm very excited to find out what will happen. But I want to finish Priory now that I only have like a few hundred pages left. So I feel like I could get through that book today so that I can focus on one book only going forward. So if I finish Priory today, then I can just focus on Miku Club, and then when I finish that one, I can focus on the next book. That's the plan. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm just gonna finish Priory and update you as I go along. Hi, so a little update. It is just after 5 in the evening. I have been working on today's video. I am very late. I know, like the video is supposed to be up in 2 hours. So that is really like what I've been doing for the past few hours. I've been just working on the video. So that one, it's up now, or like it's loading is what I mean. It's loading right now, so it's starting to be like on YouTube. It's just being uploaded right now, and yeah, so that's kind of like what I've been working on. I have just like, look how little I have left of this book. Like I'm really happy about that. Like it's just 100 pages left. I will finish this tomorrow, and then today I think I'm gonna read at least one chapter of Meet Cute Club. Like I'm really excited to start reading that book today. So like my big plan for now is to just finish, or not finish, but to read a few chapters of Meet Cute Club. Like it's insane, or it feels very, very weird because it's such a short book. Yesterday I read 50 pages, which to me always feels like a lot, like 50 pages, but it also, like, the book is 230 pages, so like it feels like I've already read a lot, even though I've only read three chapters. Like on Goodreads, it says that I've read 20%, which is a fifth of the book, and that it's still like only 50 pages. But that's kind of like what I'm gonna do now. Just read one or two chapters of Meet Cute Club, and then I don't know like how much more I will be able to kind of like do. I'm very tired, like I've said that, like I'm exhausted. I've been exhausted the entire day. I feel like I have, like, I don't know if I feel like my brain has a sunburn. That sounds very weird, but like I can't explain it any other way. It's like, when you've been in the sun for a long time and you get really sweaty and you get lightheaded and stuff like that. I've been in the sun a total of 30 minutes today, and I still feel like I'm going through the after effects of it. It's really strange. I know. That's enough chatting for now. I'm gonna read one or two chapters of Meet Cute Club. Really excited to get back into that book. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's so cute. Love it. So that's like what I'm gonna do now, and I will update you later when I have done some more reading. So hello. I read some more of this book, Meet Cute Club. I love this. Like, I absolutely adore this book. There was a moment, like, there was this scene that I felt like it felt at first like it was moving a little bit too fast. But then as it progressed, I was like, no, it's very much in character for both boys or both men to kind of get to that point. I don't want to spoil anything. Really enjoyed this. There was just like one thing that I realized while reading now, and it's that they completely switched here, like the characters, like Jordan, who is the guy who I talked about, like he was the one who bought every single book for the book clubs, including everyone else's copy. So he bought like 6 copies of every single book just so that the members of his book club could have a book without paying for it themselves. A big stack of books like this is very much Jordan, while Rex is not as much of a reader, especially not like romance novels or anything that has to do with the romance genre. He is more into like political intrigue and suspense and those kind of stories that he's starting to read romance. But like just seeing the cover, I assume that this would be Jordan and this would be Rex, but it's the opposite. Rex is the white boy with a beard and Jordan is a black man. So this is Jordan and this is Rex. I don't know if this is kind of like, if that is something that we'll see later in the book, that Rex suddenly has bought like a big pile of books, or if the designer or the artist just messed up and mixed the characters. I don't know. I like to believe that it's like this is supposed to be Rex and that he is, like buying this many books to Jordan. I would love that. Like, I hope that is what's going to happen. But that's just kind of like my little update on this book. Love it. And like, I feel like I haven't read that much, but when you look at the spine, like it looks like I am at least a third into the book. It is very easy to read, very easy to kind of like get into. I don't have to count the pages in a chapter. Like sometimes, especially when I'm tired, before starting a chapter, I count how many pages are in this chapter, like on which page is it then beginning of the next chapter. But like I do that first here, like I check how many pages is the chapter, but then as I'm reading, I'm just like, oh, suddenly I'm at the last page of the chapter. Like it's not something that I continuously think about while reading. And that is like a big thumbs up to this book. But as I said, I really enjoy it so far. I'm gonna do some more reading. It is evening right now, but this is the last update of today anyways. So I will talk to you tomorrow, update you on how it's going with Meet Cute Club and the Priory of the Orange Tree. Hopefully I will finish one of the books tomorrow so that I can get to another book. And that just means that I have around 1 week left of the month to read 3 books, which I think is absolutely fine. Like I'm not worried. I've said that so many times. I'm not worried, but still. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna do. Read, go to bed, I don't know. But that was it for today, and good night, and I will talk to you tomorrow, which is in just a few seconds for you. Hi, good morning. It's just after 10 in the morning, and I have done everything that I need to do for the morning, taking care of stuff, and my cats, who are still complaining they don't have food or water, even though I have filled both to the top. For them, seeing is deceiving, I guess. That's the whole thing. I'm gonna finish Priory today, and I'm gonna read more out of Meet Cute Club, and then we'll see what happens. And I also I forgot to mention a few things with Priory. Yesterday while I was reading, we got to follow Tane very much, and Tane is kind of like, her entire life is built around becoming a dragon rider, and she became one, and she got like bonded to a dragon. Really, like, her storyline has been really cool, and we're learning more and more about her. And I completely forgot about hers, but I love her too. Like, Eid and her, I absolutely adore them. Like, I think it's always going to be fun when they end up on the page, you know? And I realized with Tane that I have confused Loth for Nicholas. So, like, there are moments where it's like something Loth does, and I think like Nicholas and Love, I kind of like in my head they're the same person, even though they are not. So like with Tani, Love was with her, and I was like, wait, what is Nicholas doing here? But Nicholas is like, he is this, what is that called? Nicholas is an alchemist, which is kind of like a chemist but magical, if I remember correctly. Like, that's from what I understand. And he is kind of like searching for the elixir of life because he wants to be immortal. Loth is kind of a, what is that called in English? He's a courtier. Like, he lives and works like in the court, the queendom of Enos. That court is where he works, but he ended up like outside of that for reasons. Nicholas is exiled. Love is not, but like, I think with Love, kind of like thinking back on home makes me like, oh, it's Nicholas, you know? But I just confused the two, so now I really have to, like, their names are nothing alike, but I still do that. Like, that is, for me, the issue of having so many characters, because I will confuse them, even if their names aren't similar. But like, anyways, like, that's the plan for today. I'm gonna read Priory. I think I'm gonna start with Priory, and then I will update you when I finished it and what I think about it, and overall like review and rating and stuff like that. Hi, so I have just finished Priory of the Orange Tree, and I don't know, like, I really love the world. I think the world building is great, and everything that I've said about the queendom, like, everything kind of, I love how there it was resolved, like, after the big battle, how the future of the queendom of Enos, I like that. And I enjoy the whole like mythology of dragons, that depending on where you are in the world, the dragons are good and called dragons, and they're kind of like godlike beings, and in other parts of the world they're called worms with a Y, and they're seen as bad and wicked and dangerous and evil. And I just like that it's kind of like, if you live here, dragons are horrible and you hate them and you slay them, and in this part of the world you ride them, and it's like a great honor. And you know, I love the world building in that sense, and it feels like a very like rich world. I think my main issue with the book is that it, like, I don't really know how to explain it. It felt very slow. And even though I do enjoy it, and I do enjoy some of the characters, I think essentially at the end of the day, it was too much and it was too slow in like a lot of ways. For me personally, like for my taste. And I kind of think it's funny, like I think I mentioned this, that the German edition is 2, the Königin and the Magierin. And I think I would have enjoyed this book better if it had been shorter. Like, if it had been a duology, one book, like split it in half, I think I would have enjoyed it more. It is not that way, it is one book. And I think it makes more sense that it's one book, because it has the like 3-act system, that it's inciting, event, and kind of like build up to the climax that is at the end of the book, and then the resolution. So it is built just like a book, because it is a book and it is one story. But I think essentially my issue is that it felt too big and too slow and too vast for my liking. I think like parts of this book is definitely worth a 5-star, but as I said, at the end of the day, there were just too much time spent reading this book when I didn't know what was going on, who it happened to, and like I was too confused for a very long time in the book, and unfortunately because of that, I don't feel like to be true to myself and to be fair to myself and my reading experience of the book, I'm gonna give it a 3-star. And I think if in the future, in like the end of 2021 or next year or the year after that, I would reread this book knowing the characters and having like gone through all of that with the book, I think it would get a 4-star, maybe. But that's kind of like where I'm at the current moment. After the first time reading this book, it's a 3-star, only because it was just too much going on, too many characters to keep track of, which I failed miserably at doing. And I was just like, if you're looking into The Priory of the Orange Tree and you feel like, oh, I want to read that book, I highly recommend it if you love high fantasy. But I would also recommend keeping a sheet, a paper with you whenever you read it. Like, have a lined paper always in the book instead of like a bookmark maybe, that you can always, now that you meet this character, you write it down and you write what you know about that character, and you do that every time you meet a character, because I think that would help the reading experience a ton. Like, that's what I have to say about that. But I'm gonna fill in 3 stars on Priory of the Orange Tree. And so I finished the second book for Reading the Rainbow, this vlog. So now I have Meet Cute Club, which I am almost in the middle of, and then just 2 more books, and that's it. And I finished the longest book, which I think is great. So now my focus is to finish Meet Cute Club, and then when I finish Meet Cute Club, I want to start a new book. But yes, that is just the update of Priory. So now I'm gonna go to reading Meet Cute Club, which I love, which you know, and let's just hope it remains that good for me, that nothing happens that make me like doubt everything in the world. I will update you in a bit when I get a little further into the book. Hi, so it's 10 to 6 in the evening and I just finished Meet Cute Club. 5 stars. Is anyone surprised? No, I don't think so. So I gave this 5, I'm gonna give this 5 stars. It was absolutely fantastic. Like, their relationship and the build up to their relationship in the middle was absolutely, like, I loved it. This was so fun, like, and just so heartwarming and everything. I love the characters, the relationship, like their bantering and everything was just absolutely phenomenal. The resolution, the ending of this book, like, oh my god. Oh my god. I tried to kind of like figure out how is it going to, like, what is gonna happen. I did not. Like, I would never be able to foretell. I would never be able to foresee what was happening, what was gonna happen. Lucy, nay. Yeah. 5 stars for this, and as I said, it is 10 minutes to 6 in the evening. I am not going to start a new book this late, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take it easy, watch a movie, and like that's the plan for the rest of today. But highly recommend this. Super awesome. It's an adult romance, I should also say. The characters are amazing. The book club, I wish that kind of like, I wish book clubs existed in my city. They don't. There are no book clubs here. I wish they're like, I could join Meet Cute Club. Like, that would be awesome. But yeah. 5 stars. I'm just gonna say that's a wrap for today, and I will talk to you tomorrow and we'll see what book I will start reading. So hi, I just filmed my little fake of a book for today. I am very bad at like filming ahead of time, as you well know. Like the entire week this week, when I've had a video coming out, I've filmed it the same day, edited the same day, and then sent it in, or like put it on YouTube. That's what I'm doing today too. I talked about this lovely book. I absolutely adored this. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I also wanted to say, like, it's after 1 in the like evening, I guess, afternoon, 1 in the afternoon now. The reason I haven't given an update or anything. I woke up early and then I decided I needed to go grocery shopping because I didn't have certain ingredients, like eggs and cheese and stuff like that, just the usual that I felt like, I'm gonna go and go grocery shopping. And then I go to the city and the store is absolutely closed. It's the only times in a year when the grocery store in the city is absolutely closed is when it's either Christmas or Midsummer. And it's Midsummer Day today, which means that it's a red day, which means that it's a holiday in Sweden, which means that the store was completely closed. And then I got back and I decided to just do the video while the sun was up. And now it's 1 p.m. And with that said, with yesterday, as you know, I finished Meet Cute Club. Love that book. 5 stars, absolutely adore it. But now I only have This Time Will Be Different and Dokkaebi left. And I don't know which book I'm going to start off with. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start Dokkaebi. I'm gonna start this and I'm gonna read it physically and see how far I will get. I have until Wednesday to do this, to finish this, and This Time Will Be Different. So I've said it so many times this vlog, I'm not worried that I won't be able to finish. But that's the plan now. I'm gonna start Dokkaebi, Vicious Spirits. And I will update you when I get a little further into it. And right now, my plan directly now is to take it with a book and get it scheduled on YouTube. And then I will read this. Hi, so an update. It is just after 5 in the evening. And I know that I said I was gonna start this book after finishing editing the video. The video is up and scheduled, so I'm happy that is done. But after I finished editing, I was really hungry and I wanted to make something, and so I just felt like, hey, why not listen to the audiobook of this? So I'm 20 chapters into this book, really enjoying it. I love CJ. I love CJ, I love her friend, and she is such a supportive friend of her lesbian BFF, and her friend group is kind of cool. And she is, I want to say working part-time, but she's not really. She is volunteering at this flower shop that belongs to her family, that her aunt Helen is kind of in charge of. But this flower shop is kind of like a family jewel, so to speak. It was this big thing, and then internment camps, the Japanese were rounded up and taken to camps because of Pearl Harbor, and everything that belonged to them was taken and stuff. And this flower shop ended up in the McAllisters. They got it. And then when CJ's great grandpa, I think, or grandpa, I don't remember which it is, but an older male relative got out of the internment camp and got the flower shop back. And now the flower shop isn't doing very well, and CJ's mom is very obsessed with money, and money is the best thing, it's the only thing that matters. And she's like, the flower shop isn't doing very well, so if you can't come up with money until this deadline, we're selling it to the McAllisters, who, got it because of the internment camps, racism towards Japanese. So CJ is working really hard with her aunt to kind of get the flower shop doing great again. And to help even more, Helen has another volunteer who is CJ's age, and his name is Owen, and he is absolutely fantastic. I love CJ. She is so cynical. Her mom is a single mother, and CJ has no idea who her dad is, and her dad doesn't even know that she exists. So that is something that she struggles with too. What is love? What is happily ever after? She has a mom who is completely, independent. Her dad was never CJ's dad was never in the picture, and CJ's aunt, Helen, goes on dates a lot, hasn't landed a boyfriend for a longer period of time. So CJ's kind of love doesn't exist, happily ever after doesn't exist. No one can be happily married after 50 years. Like, that doesn't exist. Like, that can't exist. And Owen is the absolute opposite. And it's like, love is real and everyone can get a happily ever after and stuff. I love the banter between them, and that they're absolute opposites in that sense. Like, I really enjoyed their bantering and stuff. Like, they're great. Like I said, I'm just 20 chapters into this book, around 200 pages into it. Really enjoyed so far. But anyways, I am going to watch Wales versus Denmark now. And in the middle of like breaks and stuff, I will be reading Dokkaebi, so Vicious Spirits. So this is just kind of like what I did with Priory and Meet Cute Diary. I mean, like, if I want to, I can just read this time will be different as well. So I don't know if I'm going to start this to read in between chapters, or if I want to focus on this time will be different, maybe. I don't know. I will tell you later what I kind of decided on, but right now I'm just going to watch the soccer game. So hi, it's 9:15 in the evening. Denmark won over Wales by 4-0. I've kept reading. This time will be different. I love it. And everything that we find out about the McAllisters and what CJ and her friends are doing because of that, I love that. Like, it's really interesting, and this book is kind of addictive. I just keep reading and like I am way past halfway. Like, I have 150 pages left of the book. I really love this so far. And like, I wanted to start Dokkaebi Vicious Spirits, but I just was so stuck on this that I just wanted to finish it, and really happy I continued. So I think I'm gonna finish this and then read Vicious Spirits, but I will like put this down for the rest of today because I am tired. My eyes are tired, and I've been reading like the past 100 pages physically while watching the game. So I've had the game on at the same time. So the game is on the computer, sound and all, and I just sit here on the couch reading this book at the same time. So I don't know why, it's kind of relaxing to read physically and listen to a game in the background. I don't know why, but it works for me. So my plan is that tomorrow I will finish this book and start Dokkaebi Vicious Spirits. So like, that's the plan currently. But I'm going to watch Italy versus Austria, so another one of my neighboring countries playing. So I root for Austria, obviously. Then I'm going to bed, and then tomorrow I'm gonna finish This Time Will Be Different and hopefully start Vicious Spirits. So I will talk to all of you tomorrow, so good night. Hi, good morning. It's 11:20 currently. I am sitting here with my cup of coffee. I love this because it's kind of like blue on the inside and black on the outside. I love that. It's really cute. And as I said, it's like 11:20. I've been up for a while. I've eaten breakfast, and I kind of got into a rabbit hole. I found out this morning that it's called a rabbit hole and not a loophole when you're stuck in the internet. And I saw that Just Gender had or participated in a little live stream that had to do with Pride and Star Trek. And I am wearing my Star Trek shirt as always. I love this shirt. And I just kind of got stuck watching that. It was very interesting. There are a few things that I agree with and a few things that I don't agree with, mainly about the original series. Like, the original series is my favorite. Yeah, I am pretty much alone in that, I feel like. But anyways, that's kind of like why I am updating after 11 instead of when I actually, got up and stuff. So my plan is I'm just gonna finish my cup of coffee and continue reading This Time Will Be Different. Really enjoyed that book so far. And when I've done some more reading, hopefully I will finish the book today, so I can just update you about what is happening, what is kind of like going on, how I feel about it and stuff like that. So that's my plan for today. So I just finished This Time Will Be Different. I really enjoyed this book. Like, I love CJ. CJ is great, and like I feel like I've said everything already. I love the characters in this. The friendships are great. I love that CJ has her issues and that she's not a perfect person, and even though she does a lot of like good things, like the whole social activism thing, she holds grudges and she hates a girl because of what happened in middle school and stuff like that. And the other characters in this, like the guy who is at Heart's Decider Flower Shop with her, Owen, I absolutely adore him. He's absolutely fantastic. And CJ's best friend Em is really cool. I really like her. I feel like this is such a well done story. Like I feel like all of this was really good. There was one thing that I was very worried about, but it didn't happen. So I'm happy that it felt kind of like it was being foreshadowed, but I'm happy it wasn't. Like it was just in my head. I was really happy about that. Yeah. Like, I thought that, I think I've said that CJ doesn't know who her father is, and she kind of confronted her mom about that, like, who is my dad and stuff. And her mom says, I don't know, I don't even know his name, and that. And I was worried with everything going on that we were going to find out who CJ's dad was, and that I would not like it, and that CJ would not like it, and that it would have to do with, like, social activism thing that they were doing. I'm very happy that didn't happen, so, yeah. I'm giving this 5 stars. I really enjoy this, as I said. So that is another colors. This was for red. So I only have Dokkaebi Vicious Spirits left. So that feels very weird. Like it's only 2 in the evening. 2 in the afternoon on a Sunday. So I have the rest of the day, all of Monday, all of Tuesday, and all of Wednesday to finish Dokkaebi Vicious Spirits. So I feel kind of like, wow, that I'm already down to the last book, That feels very kind of weird but great. Like I know that I will be able to finish that book and I won't even have to stress about it because I have several days to do it. And today, just as yesterday, there is soccer today. Today it's Netherlands against the Czech Republic, and then Belgium versus Portugal. And I think especially like Belgium-Portugal will be an interesting game, but that isn't until like in 4 hours. So I have 4 hours to do whatever I want before the games. And I feel also like because I want to read Vicious Spirits physically, like without like an audiobook, I read Gumi Wicked Fox through audiobook and physically, so I switched that one. But I think with Dokkaebi Vicious Spirits, I want to just read it physically, and that it feels kind of nice to have like multiple days in case it will take longer, because I never know how long it will take to read physically, because I don't know, the vibes of the book. Some books are very easy to like fly through, like This Time Will Be Different was very easy to fly through. Like I read half the book physically, so like that is, I don't know how that would be, but I'm gonna start Dokkaebi Vicious Spirits now, and I will update you later what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and stuff like that. Hi, it's a lot later. It's 8:30 in the evening. I am a few chapters into this book. I am on chapter 5 now, and like I enjoy this. I really love the characters so far. Like I've only read 5 chapters, but I already love like Juno. I love him. And like I think also, if I remember correctly, Jaeyoon and Miyoung are from Gumi Wicked Fox. I don't remember. I read that book in February, so it's been a while since I read it, but I remember some things, and I think that's like that they are from like the hints in the book so far tells me that yeah, it was Miyoung who was the Gumiho, the 9-tailed fox in Gumi Wicked Fox. But I really love Juno. Like I think he's a great character. And then there's this girl Somin. I think she's cool too. Or Sumin. Or Sumin. Which I assume this is Sumin and this is Juno. But I like this. I'm just very like tired. I will talk to all of you tomorrow and give my update tomorrow. So I will talk to you then. Hi, it's Monday. It's almost 8 in the evening. I know that I haven't updated anything all of today. Like, the first thing that happened this morning was that our Prime Minister stepped down, and we currently do not have Prime Minister. So that's just like a big mess, and I talked to my granny 2 hours after that, and then just like 5 minutes after my talk with her, it was time for the soccer games. So I've been like all over the place today. I am around 100 pages into Dokkaebi Vicious Berries. I was going to say Gumi Wicked Fox. Like getting into this, it's a lot. Like, even though it says companion to Give Me a Wicked Fox, which to me, a companion is kind of like loosely related to you can read it without having read the other one. That's a companion to me, but I would say that this is more of a sequel because the characters of Give Me a Wicked Fox are prevalent and very important, and the events in that book are still like very important. Like the consequences of those things are very, yeah, they're here in this book, and I love it so far. I'm gonna read a few more chapters today. Like, it's just 8 in the evening. I have more time to go. There is another game after Croatia Spain, so I have time, but I just wanted to give this little update now, and then I will talk to all of you tomorrow. And so, good night, and I will see you in a little bit. Hi, it's 14:45, so it's afternoon. I have done a lot of reading, and I've done like other procrastinating stuff too. I am around 240 pages into this book. I don't remember what chapter that is, but that doesn't matter, I hope. But as I said, like, I am 240 pages into it. There's a lot going on currently, and something happened to Ji-yoon that I'm a very like, oh my god over, you know? I don't want to spoil that, but like, oh shoot, you know? But I really enjoy it, and it kind of surprises me that I'm still halfway through because I feel like we are nearing a climax, but I don't know what that could be. Like, I know that there are a lot of things that are still very mysterious, and I am on the like towards the end of this book, even though I have like 150 pages left or something like that. So there is a bit left to read. I'm just very, unsure of what is going to happen. I love like the plot so far. Like the whole issue of the book is very interesting, I think. Like the whole thing with the world between the living and the dead is open, there's a rift, and ghosts and spirits are kind of making themselves visible to mortals, which is not a good thing. So there's just this like a lot of things going on. It's just like a big mess of stuff, and yeah, I still really enjoy the characters, and as I said, like, oh my god, what the hell is happening to Ji-yoon? And like that's kind of where I'm at in the book currently. So I have now exactly 2 hours to read this, and I will update you just before the game starts, telling you like how far have I gotten, and has other stuff happened that will, like gasp me, really shock me, and stuff like that. Will I have finished the book? Doubt that, but yeah, who knows. So I'm just gonna give you an update in a little bit, so in like 2 hours. In 2 seconds for you. Hello again. So it's 16:46, so a quarter to 5 in the evening. I am like I only have like a few chapters left, and oh my god, what, like, I love Junoo. I absolutely love him, and the whole like the ending or the things that have happened up until where I am now is just like huge oh my god moments, because like I couldn't stop reading. it was just like I had to find out what was happening, what was going on, like what is going to happen to Juno, Jiyoon, Miyoung, and Somin, like what is going to happen. Everything that was going on was just like, oh my god, like what will happen. And I have to stop now because the soccer game is up soon, but I have so little left, so I feel like I have to finish this book today. Like I have to, because I need to know how this will end. I need to know what is going to happen to all of these characters that I love these. This book is so good. Like, it's absolutely fantastic. And I'm just like, I want to continue reading. Like, I want to finish this now, but I have to. I mean, I don't have to, but like, I kind of feel tempted to ignore the studio for the soccer game and just go into this, but I know that I will miss a lot of things that I don't want to miss if I do that. And this book isn't going anywhere. I can read the last part of it later, but the soccer game and the studio is, it's live. So yeah, so I'm gonna take a break from reading this. I'm really excited to find out what is going to happen. I really love this book so far. I mean, it's like this book needs a negative miracle for me to give this less than 5 stars. I mean, like, come on. Yeah, I have very, very little left, like 50, 60 pages, something like that. And I'm just still like shook about everything that is happening. Like, oh my god, I'm gonna stop talking and watch some soccer, and I will update you later when I finish the book. So hi, it's just a little after 8 in the evening. Germany lost, so England won 2-0, which sucks. So now I 100% hope that Sweden will move on to the quarterfinals, but I finished this book, Dokkaebi Vicious Spirits. I absolutely love it. I'm gonna give it 5 stars. I think all of this book was absolutely fantastic. It was really funny. It was very exciting, and it was just very the suspense and stuff, like things that were going on, and I'm just like, oh my god. Like, I've talked about that. There was just a lot of things in this book that were just extremely interesting, and that, a lot of plot twists that I didn't see coming. The relationships in this book were great. I especially loved Juno. I especially love Juno and Somin. They are fantastic. I also love Miyoung. With Jiyoon, I feel mixed feelings about, because there was something that happened to him in the book that made him not act like himself, and that kind of affected my view of him. Like, not, it just, for me, like, it didn't affect my view of him as a character. It just impacted the fact that I didn't remember what he was like before that happened. That's what I mean. Like, before he was changed, I didn't really remember that much about him, as like his personality and stuff like that. So I didn't really have an opinion. And then he was changed. I don't want to say how or why or what. And that kind of lasted for a while, so that when he became his true self again, it didn't, like, for me, I didn't know him enough before that thing happened that I can't say for sure, like, do I enjoy him or not? Like, it's not, But Juno, Solomon, and Miyoung, absolutely love them. And the whole thing with, like, the rift between worlds in this one, I thought was very interesting and very, like, handled very interestingly. And the whole, like, mythology part also was really, really cool. So as I said, like, I'm gonna give this 5 stars. Really, really loved this. So that's the end of this little vlog in this month's challenge, Reading the Rainbow. And it was very interesting. Like, I ended up with 2 3 stars and 3 5 stars, which, is absolutely fantastic. And, like, the colors, like, it doesn't really matter, but the colors that got 5 stars were pink, blue, and red. And the colors that got 3 stars were yellow and orange. Like, that doesn't mean anything. I just thought it was interesting that my favorite color is yellow, and the color after yellow that is most like yellow is orange, and those two colors got 3 stars. So that's a little sad, but I'm really happy with the outcome that I ended up with 3 5-star books. Like, I consider these like some new favorites, especially like Dokkaebi Vicious Berries is a book that I can't wait to reread. Absolutely adore it. As I've said, like, I can keep talking about it. It was so good. And I really loved This Time Will Be Different as well. Like, that is also a book that I will take with me. And Meet Cute Club, so beautiful, so gorgeous, so fun, so romantic. Like, the entire relationship in that book was just absolutely fantastic. I love it. Like, I have so much to take away from the books that I read for this little vlog. So that is kind of like where I'm going to end this. Thank you all for going on this journey with me. I hope you've enjoyed, and please leave a like if you did. Have you read any of these books, and do you think I'm fair to any of them, or what are your thoughts about the books if you've read them? Is there a book that I've read that you want to point something out, or that you're interested in reading now, or something like that? Like, I would love to hear it. And until next time, good reading. Bye.